Tell me what you were saying, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they know that he looks like he's gonna pull through. I mean, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. But all right, so we'll talk about that. So let me know when we're officially live.
We all live, bro.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay.
But man, so Trump's recovering, so it looks good. And basically we're gonna see from here. But the media has been freaking out like crazy, man.
Yeah. What is the what? Yeah, like you have to tell me about that because you got to remember, like I try to keep myself like mentally healthy throughout all this as much as possible by just like kind of steering clear of social media, and I really don't take in or consume any liberal leftist media anymore. So, and I'll be the first to admit it. So you just got to tell me like what's going on, like what they're saying on their end and what they're saying like in social media. And stuff. Yo, are people showing up?
Yeah, hold on, I'm checking the audio.
Yeah, because I don't want the stream to just be you fixing the audio.
The audio is choppy. So we can see what audio is.
You want me to just click on it and hear it?
Yeah, go to it.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have to do this because I have to make sure this thing is good, man. It's just always never goes smoothly.
Why? It doesn't. I can't even. Why do I look like I'm halfway? Why do I look like my side like I'm being cut in half? Like I'm cut in half.
I just
Look like I'm off center. Okay, you just did. Okay, but how's the audio? It doesn't. I can't even. Why do I look like
he says mine's
halfway?
Is good.
My side, I'm being cut in half. Like I'm Chicago. Oh, I can see the live stream. Like I'm off center. Okay, you just did. Hey yo, man, just got the notification. Your audio choppy. That's the man. Mario Fratto.
Is my audio still choppy?
Watching. Like I'm off center. Okay, you did. Hey yo, man, just got the notification. Your audio choppy. That's the man.
Turn off. My choppy. Okay. All right. What's that? What should do?
And that dude is eating on mic.
Yes. Start eating on mic. Stop eating on mic, bro. What on that? Still choppy. Testing is audio still choppy.
Sorry, guys. It sounds like that because that's professional broadcasting 101. This isn't professional broadcasting, people.
Yes. No. All right.
What kind of a name? Rabbit, rabbit.
It's my computer, man. That's what it is. It has to be.
Yeah. Are you running anything else? Did you restart it?
I did
Are you
restart it. Yeah.
no bueno, homeboy?
I'm sorry, guys. That's why these lock randomly is because I get paranoid about it. So I want to test that.
Okay, Leah. Well, hold on. Someone just said sounds good now.
Yeah, I
That's Leah Carmichael. It's rare you hear that chop.
bro,
It's my apple, man. My apple's crispy. I'm eating a green apple.
who the hell
I'm a
who
health
eats
nut.
apple at like 12 o'clock at night, bro?
It's 10 o'clock.
It's
First of all,
11, dog.
I'm Central
Oh,
Time. 10:15. 10:15. Is I love Daft Punk.
who is that?
Bro, that like DJ duo, like Get Lucky, you know, they like Kanye sampled one of their songs for the Stronger instrumental. This guy's got
Okay.
what the other guy does. My space trying to speak to me. So, yo, these people are, these people are, yeah, you should be in Seattle, Holmes. What is? I like that he didn't take his comment personally because like it says humor. Why would I? I know you guys are just messing around.
Can't take it personally. Can't hear you serving up.
I can
Okay.
hear I can hear the young man on the
Now,
can't hear conservative though. They
shit,
can't hear you, bro.
me
Bro, fix your mic. I mean,
is
fix your audio, bro.
chill out.
Chop. What does that even mean? Chop. Oh, it's choppy. The audio chop.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Wolf Creek? What? A shooting in Wolf Creek?
You talk to
Do your shit and fix that. Wolf Creek shooting. Hold on, guys. I'll engage with because you guys got to remember these things more than anything are test runs for Greg's audio during live streams, so that during big shows in advance it doesn't mess up like this. I just googled Wolf Creek shooting and I'm not getting anything. One day ago, Nevada County Police blah to the Union of.
Ask him, what about now? Can you guys hear me now? All right, let me see. Can they hear me now? Yeah, they can hear me now. Okay, so it must. Okay, can you hear me now? All right, testing, testing, 1 2 3, testing, 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 1 2 3, testing. So is it still Daft Punk? No. Yeah, but still choppy. You just got better.
choppy. You just got.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna hop on another computer. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be right back. One sec. Dude, I hate this, honestly. This is just the worst, actually. What about now? What about now? Hearing it. Okay. All right. What about now, guys? How about audio now? There you go. Now people saying they can. Yay, sound. All right, you sound great. All right, you're on. All right, finally. Thank God. Jesus Christ. All right, let me close the door real quick. All right, cool. All right, man. Yeah, so we hopped on just so I could test this out to make sure my setup is good. Um but I think that I'm doing this because on Thursday I am about to be on Brandon Tatum's live stream. I just confirmed that tonight. So that's why I just want to hop up here and make sure see which setup I have is better. I usually try to do it on my Mac, but my Mac just don't seem like it's really it just don't really seem like it's strong enough to really, to handle it. It's exactly. It's weird, man. But hopefully this is better. So I just hope that in the future I can have this worked out to the point where it's good every single time, but you just never know. YouTube always trying to silence a motherfucker. Yeah, yeah. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, yo, the Duran Williams show is good. Yeah, yeah. He's good. He's good. He has a lot of good life advice. So I really like his stuff. Really, I mean, seriously, I try to watch every one of his videos. Honestly, he should have a lot more subscribers. To be quite honest with you. Yeah, sound is good here. Okay, cool. Man, I hate this. All right, so yeah, we could just talk, man. All right, man. So about Trump getting better. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right. I mean, honestly, I mean, the thing is that you're 74. Um, Trump is, he got some weight on him. You don't like using the O word. He wait, hold on, one sec. I actually want to make sure I'm connected. Okay, 1 second. I want to connect directly to the internet real quick. I want to make sure it's not using the Wi-Fi because I had got an Ethernet cable. Ethernet connected. Media connection on. But yeah. So Trump is, he's in the at-risk group in my opinion, and the fact that he's recovering so well, partially due to the world-class drugs he's getting, I mean, is a good sign, right? And it does kind of send a sign to people that, hey, this virus may or may not be as dangerous as the media is making it out to be. Um, Yo, check your mute function, Leo. Yeah, hold on. Speak, say something. All right, say something now. It looks like it's not picking you up. Who knows? 1 sec. My bad. Let me get rid of these. I'm gonna add you back. Leo. Honestly, it could also be what's the face as well.
What's the face? Who?
All right, there you go. You should be good.
All right, cool, man.
All right. All right, can you hear Leo now, guys?
Can y'all hear me? Did they say yes? No?
Hold on. He said perfect. Heard him. All right, cool. There we go. My bad, guys. Still trying to work out the kinks. Still trying to work out the kinks.
Ah.
Now they can hear. Okay, they can hear Leo. All right.
Hey.
I saw I saw somebody say,
Yeah, let's get back into it. Come on, let's
yeah,
go.
one sec. Well, shoot, Greg. Hey, I really enjoyed your show with Dominic last night. That was very informative and great. This is Leo. This is Leo. I just want to make sure people know this is Leo. I don't know who Dominic is.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not. Who is Dominic? I'm Leo, guys.
yeah. All right.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah.
So it looks like everything is good. Excellent
All right.
connection. Everything's good. All right. So,
All right. Cool. Cool.
yeah. So Trump, he's a little bit overweight, right? You don't like using the O word, but
Because he's not obese.
I'm just trying to keep it medical, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um.
Okay.
So the thing is that it's good that he showed that, hey, you know what? Like, even though I'm older, I may be in the at-risk group. I am still healthy, strong, um, coming out here, taking pictures, walking around, doing all the things that, a strong president would do in a situation like this.
Absolutely.
So, I think that, at the end of the day, the media can be mad about it, but really, when it comes to anything, politicians, like, they market themselves, and Trump's a master marketer.
Of
So,
course.
you can criticize him for it being a quote unquote photo op, but really at the end of the day, Obama had plenty of photo ops, right? Like, Joe Biden has plenty of photo ops. I saw Joe Biden take a picture with Jeezy earlier today. He's gonna receive him, Jeezy, Ludacris, and some other
Yeah.
washed up
No.
rappers are gonna get on a
Watched up. Apparently, he's trying to do this campaign thing where he's trying to get a bunch of rappers to reach out to like the younger crowd.
exactly. Like, this is what
Yeah.
politicians do. And at the
Hmm.
end of the day, like, I can't be mad.
But as far as Trump actually getting the virus, of course he actually got the virus, right? Yeah. There's no question in that.
Yeah, I just saw a video. There's some people who have been questioning whether or not Trump actually had the virus,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
yet, was he
Or
actually set up? Was he set up? But because the whole White House got the virus at this point now.
It's weird. And then a bunch of Senate Republicans.
Yeah, it is weird. And it is almost like somebody came in there with COVID, a super spreader, so to speak, and just, kind of went off on the White House, just touched everybody and gave everybody corona, basically.
Hope Hicks.
Hope Hicks, exactly. I mean, I'm not saying
Maybe.
she's the one though. I'm not saying she's
Yeah,
the one. I'm just,
exactly. Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I'm just saying
She was probably
it's
one of the
just
first people,
it's
but
weird. It's just weird that all
yeah,
of them got it like that.
something's not right. And then a bunch of Republicans, and they have this crucial Senate Judiciary Committee hearing for the confirmation of Judge Barrett, which I think they're still holding strong that they're going to do next Monday. So that they're going to start next Monday. So it's all this happening at the same time, all these dominoes falling at the same time with COVID here, COVID there. It's like something's not right. Yeah, that doesn't just happen out of nowhere to the
Yeah,
White House. Like,
dude, and,
like
and
you know,
it's a good point because I mean, who's the most secure man in the world? The president.
President of the United States.
Exactly, right? Like how you can't come close to the president. Like I've seen Obama when he was pulling into the White House by chance. I didn't go there because I knew he was going to be there, but I happened to be in D.C. outside of the White House when Obama was pulling in, and they had like the road blocked off for like an hour before he even pulled up, and you can't get anywhere near this dude. Like you cannot get anywhere near the president without being like officially cleared or somebody that's like legit. Like
Of
ain't no regular
course.
person getting next to the president. So it's really hard to believe that somebody with the virus had got close to the president and stayed around him long enough to actually give him the virus. Now, that can also be because there's a lag in testing. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like
Yeah.
the turnaround time or that there's a lot of false negatives. And that could also be it as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's multiple reasons and things that I think play into why he made why he got the virus, but it's just weird considering how closed off he actually is from the rest of the world and just how secure the president is. And for everybody in the house to get it, that just means that either there's some type of conspiracy or there
Hmm.
was some major letdown in security or testing at some
Yeah,
point.
but it's for it all to happen at like a month before the election, just literally all at the same time to all these different people. It's just, and then of all people, Mike Pence doesn't get it when he has a debate in like a couple days, and then a bunch of people, like a bunch of Senate Republicans, got it. Like, and basically no Democrats have gotten it. It's, even when Nancy Pelosi like was in that salon with no mask on, which basically gives us a snapshot of how she goes about her day. Same thing with Feinstein in that airport. I saw this on Tuck. She was in the airport with no mask on either. So something's not right. Yeah, like I smell something fishy for sure. I mean, a lot of this just doesn't sit right with me. But all that aside, I think with this whole narrative that Trump got the virus and that he's been and that he's made a speedy recovery and he's coming back strong and like it never even happened. I think that's huge for the country. I think it's a huge smack in the face to the left who have just been absolutely disgusting with respect to how they've been dealing with this and making all these jokes about Trump, like passing away and like him like this being the nail in the coffin for Trump and like Chris Rock saying that he feels for COVID and not Trump like he feels for COVID as in he feels bad that like he's rooting for COVID to like do its job essentially against Trump, like just terrible awful things. And then he went around and with the Secret Service in their Chevy Tahoe, in their armored Tahoe or whatever, and like was waving to his supporters. I mean, just an amazing gesture of appreciation for his supporters and for the media to say, "Oh, he's going to infect the secret." Like basically, they are at the point now where anything you do, where you interact with people all that matters to them is that you're going to infect people with COVID and you're going to kill people. It is the most ridiculous, obscene, like asinine and absurd narrative I have ever heard in my life, where they're literally pushing this whole ideology or this entire they are pushing this hysteria on people, where anytime you go somewhere without a mask and talk to people in close proximity, you're gonna kill them because you're gonna give them COVID.
which is hilarious because
It's just so
wait,
dumb. Yeah.
the whole narrative this whole time was that Trump is an asshole because he doesn't wear a mask. So dude comes out of the hospital with a mask,
Right.
gets in the car, everybody else is wearing a mask.
They're
And
probably like that car is probably blocked off. It's probably got like a divider between the people driving it and like the back seats.
exactly,
Even, yeah.
exactly. Probably been sanitized,
Yeah.
all that, right? And
Of
keep in mind, he
course.
stays around the Secret Service all day long.
Hey, long.
So it's like he's in the car with a mask. Everybody has a mask. You guys have been acting like masks are like the secret weapon to Corona for the last 6 months. I mean, like masks are like holy water. You know what I'm saying? Like straight from the Jordan River. You know what I'm saying? For Corona.
like giving down to us from like the most high, like literally bestowing upon us, like he reaches down from heaven, this giant hand, just giving us all like masks to put on our face. It's like this mask fetish, literally. And all it is like a condom for your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. A condom. Hey, it provides less protection than the condom, bro.
Exactly.
But
anyways,
the media, so CNN,
like he was doing all this that they've been bashing him for not doing for months.
yeah. So CNN freaks out about this, and it's like, oh man, like Trump's putting the lives of the Secret Service agents at risk because he's driving around with Secret Service agents with a mask on, and he's shedding COVID. I mean, this black dude on MSNBC was like talking like Trump was just like a walking like COVID like super spreader, like just super duper like
basically saying like Trump is
contagious.
like walking botulism.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, and it's just one of those things where I just think that it just shows the media's hypocrisy because they asked him to wear a mask and he wore a mask, and all of a sudden, he wearing a mask and now it doesn't count anymore. And he gets up, he does these videos where he's trying to encourage people and show that he's doing good, and it's like they're just mad because he's not dead. That's all it is. They're literally mad because Trump is not dead. That's what it is.
They're mad because he's not on his deathbed, bedridden, literally on IV. And they're just trying to hide it by saying, oh, he's not respecting. And then he comes out and basically in this majestic scene where he's on the Sea King or whatever it's called, that giant helicopter, Marine One. And it's a big, like triumphant scene where he's walking to the White House, and then he gets on the second story of the White House on the balcony, and then he looks out, to the rest of Washington. He takes his mask off and then he salutes. Like that was so powerful, and they're just like, oh. And I think it's insane. I think it's insane that all this is happening. Really, like everything's happening so fast, and like all these things are just like all the dominoes are falling. And he's basically saying, don't let COVID don't let like COVID like dominate your life.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And he's like, he literally. All right, so people get this because I want to emphasize this as much as possible. He literally comes out and said, don't be afraid of the virus.
Yeah.
When literally they have justified destroying the economy, shutting down businesses, separating us, social distance, forcing us to wear masks, basically covering our face, which is how we connect with people. Because they said you need to be afraid of this invisible thing. Like I was telling Greg this, like I bet you like there are some restaurant and bar owners and like, owners of like, you know, whatever, game rooms, like all these like stores or like businesses where there are like large conjugations of people, like festival, like companies that run festivals and music concerts. I bet you all those people are literally ripping their hair out in rage and fury because literally Trump just said this whole fear mongering. He didn't say the specific word, but he's basically said this whole hysteria, this fear mongering, this repeated mentioning, or this continuous repetition of the same narrative of this thing is so terrible and so deadly and so bad that we basically need to shut down our lives and make the world stop to contain it as much as possible. Trump basically just came out and said, "Hey guys, all that was a complete lie."
Yeah.
And no, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He really just kind of he disproved all of their anonymous sources that kept saying that, like, oh, Trump's on this drug and he's on that drug, which means that he has a very severe case, and that it was either Trump's dying or Trump's completely faking it. There was no in between where it's like, you know what, guys, Trump just has a mild case of COVID. Nobody ever
Like,
ever.
guys, like Trump just has a cough.
Yeah, he just has a cough. Exactly. Like he's just and they had it. See, they also called out a video where the Trump campaign had edited a video of him um basically giving one of his, his prep talks, and basically they edited him out coughing. Right? He was coughing and they edited it out, and the liberals caught it, and it's like, bruh, the dude can't cough. I mean, he can't. I mean, he's obviously has COVID. Like, he's gonna cough a little bit. Just keep coughing don't mean he dying. You know what I'm saying? Like every oh man, Trump has a fever. Oh man, like But listen, I just want to knock on wood because he's not out of the woods yet. You know,
Ugh.
I know how you feel about it, but
Mhm.
I'm trying to take precaution here. He's not out of the
Oh.
woods yet.
Yeah, no, he he's been discharged. He's walking. He's fine. He looks good. I don't think that they would have discharged him if they thought that the viral load was at a certain point. And now that he's basically probably I think past the peak, I think they said it's okay for him to be back at the White House. Maybe he'll actually be back in his own office. He's probably not going to go on any rallies like this week, but he'll be able to give press conferences, and he'll actually be able to give out orders from his command center, the Oval Office, and whatnot. Be back at home base. So I think that's good. Maybe who knows? Maybe he'll get creative and give like little mini rallies, or give like live speeches, outside the White House, or out on the White House balcony. I mean,
Did you see
he
that
could do.
hype video he did with him coming off
Yeah,
the helicopter and pulling up to the White House?
yeah,
Bruh, Trump a troll, bruh. Trump
yeah.
is
He's
a
a.
troll, dude.
Do you really think that's him being a troll, or is that him just
Yo,
trying to like look like a hero, or like
honestly,
what's up?
honestly, I'm convinced Trump is probably one of the best marketers in history. Like, no doubt in my mind. This man knows marketing. Like, he is. If you had to create a create a businessman, and you had like different attributes for like
Yeah,
marketing,
like
leadership.
you had a separate dude for each characteristic, for each trait.
Exactly. His marketing would literally be like rated 100. Like, that video was so dope of him just like coming out of a helicopter, pulling up, and I just can just imagine liberals just crying,
Losing their
just, just losing their shit,
shit.
just so mad because the narrative that they try to put out there, according to their anonymous
that
sources,
Trump was basically
that
bedridden.
Trump was dead. That's basically what they try to imply, that Trump was good as gone. I ain't gonna lie though, they had me for a little bit when they was talking about them drugs that he was on.
Yeah, they did.
I definitely
Yeah.
thought, I was like, oh, like this don't sound good. But I mean, it when I had COVID, right? Like the first few days were the worst, and then after like the fourth or fifth day, like it definitely started to get better for me personally. But they say that in a typical case, it's usually like 5 to 9 days, right? Like maybe like you'll know kind of after that ninth day, kind of how it's gonna go. So it's just I think it's good he's back on his feet, just in general. But it's we'll see how it goes, man. It's just one of those
Mm.
things. It's really hard to talk about, and I know we've been like joking about it, but I really do hope that it don't take a turn for the worse. Like I really hope that he's not pushing himself to do things that he shouldn't be doing just to try to seem strong.
Well, there's a conflict of interest because we're 4 weeks away from the election, and he's technically got a debate in like a little over 2 weeks. No, 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 no. Sorry. And like a week and a half. Uh, next Thursday, Thursday of next week. And Trump wants to be out there. Like Trump's an active guy, man. Like he's all over the map. Like, he'll be in different states in the same day. And he's like that's his whole thing. Like that goes back to you calling him like a master marketer. Like he goes out there, he gets his fans, like and his supporters, his constituents riled up, and he has this presence, this bravado about him that has been his mainstay. Like uh, his high point of appeal for a lot of people. As far as just his demeanor and how he comes off. Him being okay. This is who I am. I'm real. Like there are no secrets. There like there's no sleazy politics with me. What you see is what you get. But then when it comes to his policy, I mean, he's been almost second to none. He's been outstanding. He's been stellar with all these things that he's been getting done. In the White House over the past almost 4 years. So I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he had the best doctors in the world, I'm sure, and they were giving him all this medication to get him back out there as soon as possible to try to speed up his recovery, to try to expedite it. And I'm sure they pulled it off. I don't think COVID, with it being like a flu-like infection, like as soon as you start feeling better, out of nowhere, it can just get worse all of a sudden. I think once the viral load gets taken down, it's on a downswing. Again, I'm not saying this as a medical professional. I'm just saying it, practically as a dude who's gotten sick in his life with the flu and the cold and whatnot. Which this is in the same ballpark as. I mean, you can't argue that it's not. It's what it is. But I think more than anything, I'm just glad that he's back in there. He's showing signs of strength. He looks fine. And I think it'll be interesting to see how people react to it tomorrow. What we hear from the last bit of conservative news left from Fox, and then what the basically all the other major newsreels that are all liberal now, like how they take it. But I think it shows signs of strength, and I think it's like a big slap in the face for the liberal narrative and the Democrats and the radical left that have been trying to get people to basically agree to the world being stopped without people literally losing their minds, or like saying that the government's that like the Democrats are a bunch of tyrants because they've had people so afraid of it. Trump comes out and says, "Don't be scared, don't be afraid." I think like a lot of people, it's just been like literally like their mind was just blown, because it's like you literally turned my life upside down for something that our president, who is you say by definition is at high risk of dying from this, who says that it shouldn't like dominate your life and you shouldn't be afraid of it. That to me is a major turning point in this whole political theater right now. But
Yeah, no, I 100% would agree with that. And I think it just kind of shows, and again, knock on wood, he makes a full recovery. That if a 74-year-old man, with some risk factors can
not comorbidities, risk factors.
risk factors can push through and pull through, even though he's on the best drugs in the world. But apparently,
Right,
there's no official cure for it, right? Like there's no official like treatment. So if he can make it, and if he can get through this, then I think that's a good sign, and kind of a good reassuring point for people who are on the fence about starting their lives back up again, and right, and getting back to work and doing things like that. And I think the problem is that with COVID is that you always have those antidotes. You always have those people where it's like, oh, like this one person passed away or this one person died from it. And, you know, just because, you have an antidote or somebody that you know or somebody that's prominent that died from it doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it goes for most people. And I think that that's where most of the fear comes from is when you see somebody of prominent status pass away from it or succumb to it, like for example, a Herman Cain, or
Mm-hmm.
some I'm thinking like some of these athletes, like mothers have passed away from it, family members, even distant um, family members or friends or family that may have passed away from it, and you start thinking like, oh man, like this is you know the worst thing in the world, and that I can't start my life back up. But you got to remember, like, again, I always like to look at the whole story, and it's the same thing even with the police brutality thing, right? And
Of
I think that's
course.
the problem with the police brutality thing. People want to make law out of antidotes, right? This is not
Out of anecdotal evidence, yeah.
exactly out of anecdotal evidence. They want to try to seem like that's the norm. No, it's not the norm to succumb to this disease. And I think the president, again, knock on wood, pulling through, making a 400% recovery, even though he has the best health care in the world, is going to help reassure a lot of Americans. And I think it's going to do great for his poll numbers as well. I think, once he
Oh
makes an
yeah.
official full recovery, especially if he can get back on the debate stage and really do damage to Biden, the damage I think he can do, um, and continues to show strong leadership, I think that it may honestly help him out in the end. But right now,
Help them seal the deal. Yeah.
the media is really harping on the fact that basically the whole White House has corona, and
Mm-hmm.
except Mike Pence, for whatever reason he got
Except,
away. But they're basically harping on the fact that the whole White House basically has corona, and they're really going to use that as evidence that President Trump is, you know, irresponsible with this virus. It's like the icing on the cake, man. Like it really is the icing on the cake for them. Trump ignored the virus for the last 9 months. Now look, right before election time, his whole family got it. That's how irresponsible he is. That's what they're
yeah,
gonna.
but
That's what they're
it's
gonna
so
say.
stupid because they say they act like getting it is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, well,
when getting it doesn't really mean
I
anything.
think that if you're older, if you get it, it is. I think it's a big deal. But
Maybe,
generally speaking, it him making a full recovery and him doing it fast and him getting back on his feet, getting back on the campaign trail is really going to put a dent in the COVID narrative that this is
Of
some dangerous
course.
virus that we need to stop our lives from. And I think that's
Exactly.
kind of the strategy that they're taking right now because the Democrats are going to be like, look, his whole family got it. And that's what they're going to say. But if he can be like, listen, it doesn't matter if I got it. Like, this is how contagious this virus is. I can get it. The president of the United States can get it. And if I can get it and I can recover from it, and I'm old, you can recover from it. And I think that that's kind of what the strategy is going to be moving forward in
And
terms of.
also, I mean, the biggest thing that no one talks about is, guys, the flu kills people in the tens of thousands at least every single year in America.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I mean, some people are gonna die from this, but why don't we just have like a mini 1 month or 2 week shutdown then? Like, if you want to think about things linearly, why don't we have like a 1 or 2 month shutdown or even 3 month shutdown every year for the flu? What about when we have bad flu seasons?
I think that
Oh,
Bill
yeah.
Gates, somebody was talking about how this may be the new norm that we may have to shut down periodically.
I don't listen to a word they say. Bill Gates, that's a whole nother story. But Bill Gates is on board with this whole, you know what? I don't even want to get into it. But his words on medical issues and like these like pandemics and epidemics and whatnot are
You
meaningless
you
because
trust
I
Bill?
know.
You trust the Bill Gates vaccine?
No, not no.
Do you
Of course
trust the
not. Oh,
vaccine?
trust me, Chuck. Oh, well, honestly, I mean, I don't even really get the flu vaccine, guys. So I don't really see
I don't get
a
the flu
reason for
vaccine
getting
either,
this.
but I just feel
Yeah,
like
I don't
this
I don't
vaccine
think
gonna be
it's
mandatory, bro.
well, no. Mandatory how? Like law
This is
enforcement
how they gonna do
showing
it.
up.
This is how they gonna do it.
Okay, all right,
Mark
yeah.
my
Let's hear
words.
this theory, Greg.
Yeah,
Enlighten us.
here's my theory. This is what they gonna do. Corporate America is gonna be first. The reason why is because most of corporate America is working from home right now, right? And what's going to happen is corporate America is going to be like, we don't want to take the risk of having sick people and potentially people that can catch COVID coming back to work and then catching COVID and suing us. This is what the story is going to be. This is the rationale behind it. So because of that, when this vaccine comes out, they're going to mandate that in order for you to come back to work regularly, full time in the office building, you are going to have to take this vaccine. And if you work for the government and you work for corporate America, this is what you're going to have to do. And this is why I'm an entrepreneur right now. This is why I'm an entrepreneur, because
Same here.
this is what's going to happen. The people that are working for corporate America in the government are going to be the first people lined up to get this vaccine that they about to roll out, and that's
if
just
they
go,
want if they want to go back to work.
if they want to go back to work, and that's what they're going to do, and they're going to slowly but surely force it on the rest of the population, and they're going to try to
Yeah,
force. Go
but
ahead.
so that's where the question comes in. Like we've spoken about that corporate America and government employees thing before. That's pretty obvious. But how does it become mandatory for people like us that are outside that, or just people in general? Yeah, for everybody.
Well, I mean, it could be one of. I mean, I don't necessarily know how they would make it mandatory for people like us that's not tied to corporate America, but they might. Who knows, man? YouTube might be like, bruh, for you to upload this video, you gotta show us your paperwork that you got a vaccine,
You've been
that you've
documented.
been
Your,
documented.
your documentation that you've been vaccinated for corona.
Yeah, yeah. Then let me ask
They
you. Let me ask you.
they could
Somebody
they
brought
could
this up
they
in the
could
chat.
literally they
Somebody
could
brought
be
this up in
doing
the chat. Do you
yeah.
think that if Trump is president, they're gonna mandate the vaccine? Because I know
Absolutely.
if Biden's president, it's gonna be mandatory.
Oh,
He's already
if,
mandatory mandating masks. I know he's gonna mandate the vaccine.
if Biden's president, then it's the Soviet Union. But no, I mean yeah. If Biden's president, welcome authoritarian communism. They're gonna yeah, like this country will be radically changed within a year if Biden gets in. Like it'll be unrecognizable from what we've come to know America as if Biden gets in by but from the beginning of 2021 to the beginning of 2022, yeah, this country will be completely upside down and have taken like a 180. But no, I mean, if with Trump, I think it will be strongly recommended. But especially with him not even being administered of the vaccine, any vaccine, since they're technically still not ready. Like, and him just having just the medicines in their cabinet that they already that have already been like FDA approved and are already in circulation in the medical field, and him just being administered those drugs and having made appears to be making a pretty swift and healthy recovery from kind of like the peak of it, which apparently we heard was like on Friday. No, I don't see any reason. I mean, Trump wants to open the economy back up. He's not super huge on forcing masks on our
That's
face.
how I
Like he's
think. That's how I think they're gonna get President Trump. That's how I think they're gonna get him,
well, hold on,
because
hold on. Just like a couple of things. I mean, like, and again, this may be advantageous to him because look at Boris Johnson. They say Boris Johnson won out in for the UK Prime Minister because of the sympathy vote because he got COVID and he recovered, which makes him look stronger, especially as like an older fellow as well. And also like a bunch of like epidemiologists from different universities and different medical schools have been saying that in institutions and whatnot have been saying that young people should be able to go back to their lives as usual. Just go back to business as usual. People who are not at risk, they should be things should be completely back to 100% normalcy for them. The only people who probably need to kind of still pull back on things are people who are at risk, the elderly, people who are very sick, and but they're saying after Trump, like after Trump getting it and him kind of looking how he's looking, they're saying yeah, this really should be kind of like the canary. No, that's a negative connotation. But this should be like kind of like the beacon, or kind of like the big signal, like the big sign that, or should I say, the green light for people who are not at risk to just go back to normal. Get rid of these lockdowns. Get rid of these mask mandates, social distancing. Just come on, like let's go. Like we have an economy to get back up and running.
And I think,
You,
but I
you
think that's the
know?
thing, man. I think the,
Yeah. So
I think the,
back to what you're saying.
I think the economy is what's gonna. If they're gonna force his hand, the economy is gonna be what how they do it. Because what they could say is like, without the vaccine, we can't get the economy back up fully functioning because we still have to implement social distancing in restaurants, and we still have to wear masks, and there's just certain things that we have to do that is not going to allow us to get our economy back up and running as efficiently as it was before. um and especially with a lot of things like tourism, right? A lot of cities like New York are hurting because nobody's going there anymore. And also these cities
Yeah.
like San Francisco have been like basically evacuated on the West
Mm,
Coast, and people have just kind of
mm.
moved out of these overpopulated areas.
These urban
Yeah,
areas, yeah.
these urban areas. So I think that if they could force his hand on the vaccine, the way they would do it is they would basically say, "Listen, without the vaccine, we can't ever fully get back and up and running on the economy." And I think that that would be a very strong argument for it if they were to try to force it on everybody in society, if that's what they wanted to do. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
well, they could do that in Democrat states. They would still do that in Democrat
Oh,
states, even if he
absolutely.
did win. Absolutely,
And
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and by the way, I just want to bring this up. It's funny how everybody likes to try to frame Trump as some type of like fascist dictator.
Fascist dictator,
And
yeah.
he literally has not required any mandates in regards to this virus in terms of masks or social distancing, anything like that. And he's completely left it up to the states to basically try to handle this virus. And I saw somebody tweet about the White House press secretary basically supporting or speaking for fascism, and I said like, give me proof that Trump is a fascist, right? Like, where's your evidence? Like, elaborate on that statement. And I love asking people that because people come in my chat, or my comment section and call me a coon, a sellout, and I'm always like, elaborate on that statement. Elaborate on these
Mhm.
statements that all these people make that really are not based on any facts or reality. They're just
Just
make
as simple as just tell me
Yeah,
why.
just tell me why. Explain to me how Trump is a fascist. If there was a time, if Trump was a fascist dictator, right? If there was a time to do it, now would be the time. Now would be the time to take over. If that's what Trump actually wanted, there would be no better time than right now. And the fact that he, had a hands-off approach to it in terms of letting the states take care of it, it's basically a conservative's dream, essentially, in terms of how the federal government, should handle situations like this, because
Mhm.
this type of situation would be an excuse for the executive branch to, take more power, right? The executive branch is
Of
already
course.
overpowered, in my opinion. I mean, the executive branch
Mhm.
can declare war, right, without really even going through the Senate. But that's that.
How? How? You mean through Congress? Yeah. Well, just Congress in general? Well, yeah. Well, how?
Well, they can do it. They can do it without. It's the I forgot what it's called. I would have to look it up.
Is it like a name of like some special like executive order that they can put in place or
Yeah,
like some type of like
yeah,
yeah.
it's what we're basically using right now to basically bomb the Middle East and to basically participate in these proxy wars with Syria.
with and a bunch of countries that we've never even heard of.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I forgot what it's called off the top of my head, but essentially,
Yeah, so you're saying like the president can basically like informally like declare war. Yeah.
exactly, the president can basically informally basically declare war.
Like
And
de facto war.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And me personally, I think the executive branch has gotten way too powerful. Um, and this was a situation in which the executive branch, if they wanted to take more power, they could have, but
Mhm.
President Trump didn't. Right? Like, imagine President Trump trying to enforce like local ordinances. Right? Like, imagine the federal government coming in to like a city and federal forces basically being like, no, you guys have to, social distance, or you have to get your temperature taken.
You
Any
mean like
China.
how they do in
Exactly, like
China?
China, exactly. Imagine the federal government doing that.
Basically being on some China shit. Like going full on, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, man. It's like people don't think about stuff like that when they think about, like, what had President Trump should have done, what should he have done. People don't think through that whole process of, you know, what can the federal government actually do in a situation like this? Do you want the federal government out in the streets enforcing, local laws? Or do you want the states and the local governments to handle that? I personally don't want the federal government coming into the states and trying to enforce local laws. I don't want that.
Because that feels just like a giant overreach, and that doesn't seem like something that you would want in a country like the U.S. where the federal government just oversteps its boundaries.
Exactly. So, I just think that, when it comes to this type of stuff, a lot of people don't really think about the consequences of actions like that. And it really scares me that, Biden has been talking about, I'm going to mandate this, I'm going to shut down the economy. It's like, so Biden, you're going to come in and act like a dictator, essentially? And that's what he's telling people.
But no one says anything about it.
Nobody says anything about it at all.
Biden can basically say what people need to realize how unsettling it is that Biden can literally say whatever he wants without it and have it all go unchecked. What does that tell you? What does it tell you that literally there's this guy who the media is pushing on us so much, and they barely have a reason why? He's not clear about his policy. He doesn't tell us really what he's going to do outside of shutting down the country and making us all wear masks when we're outside at the park by ourselves, going for a walk just to clear our heads, and then raising our taxes.
And the media is in bed with it. And that's Absolutely. What bothers me, because Biden's never pressed on, okay, what does a mandatory mask mandate look like? What does that look like? Right? Are you gonna have to wear it, like you said, in the park? Are you gonna have to wear it every time you step outside? How are you gonna enforce punishment for not, abiding by it?
Literally, if I walk outside without a mask on, are you gonna have federal forces arrest me? Yeah.
Exactly. How are you going to enforce this in certain states, like Florida, that's already fully open? Are you going to allow them to keep their economies open, or are you going to dictate whether or not they can keep their economies open? Those are the type of questions that I want Joe Biden to answer. And that's, another reason why I don't understand why people can vote for this man. Because he hasn't given you a plan on anything. The only thing he's giving you a plan on with Corona is that he's going to wear a mask, the mandatory mask mandate, and probably going to shut down the economy again. What does shutting down the economy mean?
Because he's listening to the scientists.
Exactly.
His scientists, the scientists who tell him what he wants to hear. Yeah, like Fauci and them, basically.
Exactly. So the thing is that, do you want states like Florida, South Carolina, basically every state in the South that's essentially, stayed open? Do you have to force their economies to shut down again? How is the federal government going to compensate for them? Because a state like Florida, a lot of their economy is tourism. People coming, going to the beaches, going out to bars, nightlife, entertainment, things of that nature.
Going to the Florida Keys, the Everglades, stuff like that.
Exactly. That's why they couldn't ever really shut down. They couldn't afford to shut down. So my question is that under this hypothetical government shutdown from Biden, how are you going to keep these state economies up? Are we going to have to spend more money? Right? How much more money are we going to have to spend? Because at this point, I think we're
keep raising the debt up. Yeah,
exactly.
I think you're going to say that.
Exactly. I mean, because at this point, we're considering another $500 billion stimulus package to, I think, it's up to 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 trillion now, that may or may not get passed unless Nancy Pelosi, gets her act together. But
yeah,
those are the questions that I have for Biden that just aren't seem to get an answer, because the media wants to focus on Trump, and it's like, no, I already know what I'm gonna get out of Trump. I know what I'm getting out of Trump. I have no idea what I'm getting out of Biden. I have no idea what I'm getting out of him. I don't want another lockdown. I just don't. It was like the worst time of my life. I know you did not enjoy it.
Not at all. It was pretty awful. Yeah.
So
absolutely not. No, yeah. I mean, it was just terrible because, I mean, they just, they everything that I was doing came to a screeching halt. I came to a new city. I wanted to meet people and, go out and network and interact and, like build up, like, like a friend group, second to my main friend group back home, but, just, build up mainly like more than anything, like a professional network and, be able to, kind of, get going and being independent and kind of flourishing like that and, really kind of experiencing, a new city and all that. And they literally just took it all away. And they basically ruined the thrill of going somewhere new. Um, and it was just awful. It was terrible. I mean, the gym was closed. It was impossible to meet anybody. Dating went down, completely down the drain. It was just, yeah, it was fairly miserable. I mean, I did not do well. I was basically every morning just agitated and like grumpy for like a whole 2 months. And like we see them starting to open back up again, and I mean I don't really think that anyone's kind of losing it. Like they're talking about, oh, these states are getting spikes again. It's like that's fine. Let the virus play out, because literally what they don't understand is what they're telling us with that is that the lockdowns don't get rid of anything. They just keep it cooped up.
Yeah.
And they keep it from inevitably spreading, which it's gonna do no matter what.
Yes, and I think the president getting that, drives home that point that even the most secure man in the world,
Lockdowns don't work. It's gonna spread eventually. All you're doing is prolonging
bruh,
it and dragging it out. Just let it happen. Get it over with in like a month or two, where everyone gets infected. We all just get sick for a week or two. We ride it out, and it's over.
Sweden's been chilling, man.
What's that?
Sweden's been chilling.
Yeah, they're fine. They had no lockdowns, no nothing. They just basically give out an advisory like, if you're sick, stay home, or tell people to not get too close. Wear a mask if you want, but you don't have to. And they're good. Is Sweden on fire? Is everyone there dropping like flies? No, no, no. We've been fed a lie, a partisan lie by the Democrats, and literally they've tried to get us to believe that it's been so terrible and that it's all Trump's and the Republicans' fault. It's been so sick when really they've had the hardest lockdowns. They have the highest cases and they have the highest amounts of death. Why? Maybe because people who are getting COVID and the elderly people who are getting COVID are also stressed out of their minds. We all know that when you're super stressed out, that your immune system goes down, right? So, I mean, it's just it's just some really awful, terrible, sick, vile, diabolical, all these things all those words that I use to describe what I'm trying to say, like basically these methods by the left. And they try to play it off as they're the ones who care about human life and blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, people, COVID is probably is no, not probably. It literally is. I looked it up, like 2.5 at most, like 2 to 3% tops of the worldwide deaths this year. Like, and that's with padded statistics where if you have COVID, excuse me, but you had a comorbidity or you got hit by a bus or you in some fatal accident, as long as you tested positive for COVID, that was what killed you. Like you could have cancer, leukemia, heart disease, diabetes, whatnot. But if you had COVID at any point in time prior to your death, they put it down as a COVID death. So, I mean, it's just, they're lying to us with these so-called statistics. They're trying to overload the system by saying that since it wasn't able to attain these outlandish and unattainable and just, pie in the sky standards, that we need to change it. And it's just like, no, I'm sorry, but I'm not biting. I don't buy it. Like this narrative is just the same record player, and there's nothing that really shows me that it's compelling at all. I mean, yeah, I mean, Trump basically recovering from this basically sealed the deal on that. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how people's attitudes and what people are going to start and what people are and what people are going to, like, how should I put this? Like what people's attitudes are going to be moving forward from tonight onward just with being out and interacting with the limited amount of people that you do interact with in a time like this. Just you know, it'll be interesting to see, and even on social media, to see just anywhere that we can hear people's thoughts, to see kind of the change in the rhetoric and the change in people's opinions surrounding this disease, this infection. So I think this is a huge turning point. I think in general, honestly, for the country as a whole. So this is huge. I applaud that Trump made a swift recovery, because if it went the opposite direction, we would literally be in another lockdown like today. I have no doubts. They're like, if the president got it and it killed him, oh, we haven't taken it seriously. Like, they would use that as an excuse to impose government overreach on us like no other. So I thank God that as far as we as far as what we're seeing right now, it's going in the exact opposite direction from that, which is good as a whole for the country. It's not just a recovery for Trump; it's a recovery for America, as he calls it. The Great American Comeback, which I think is very fitting, especially now, like no other. So
I just want to say that Duran Williams said that I don't know if you've seen it. He said that
no, I'm not looking at the chat because it'll distract me.
no, he said Duran said Leo needs to watch my show, Helping Nerds Get Laid. And I said Leo does need to get laid. I said I'll point him towards his channel. Nah, Duran has a good channel. I really I really
appreciate
F
it,
with
man.
Duran. I really F with his channel hard, man. For real. Like he's funny. He funny. I'm telling you.
Have you been on a show?
No, I haven't. I actually want to get him on a live stream. To be quite honest, I love to pick his brain. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Durant, I'll be sure to take you up on that offer soon, man. in a time, in, in a time like COVID, like, I'll take anything.
no,
But
you should. Hey, you know what though? I
Mhm.
haven't checked out any of his real life talks. I haven't checked out those, but I've checked out all his political ones and his sports ones on point, except his opinion of Tom Brady. Even though Tom Brady threw 5 touchdown passes, you know, I still think he washed up. But but his
Okay.
opinions on sports
I mean,
is a little
sports.
shaky, but his opinions on politics is on point. It's 100%
Okay.
on point.
I mean, sports have been non-existent for me since Corona, but it's good to kind of just stay in tune with what's going on as far as the big headlines, just to see kind of what's going on. Like I know they're in the playoffs for baseball, and I know that the NBA finals are going on, but that's about it right now.
You'll love this. Rabbit said, where is the China numbers? I'm assuming he's talking about Corona.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get them because China doesn't get out that data because they're a communist country where they literally corrupt and control everything. And if they don't feel like doing that, then they don't have to. The World Health Organization is literally a pawn of China right now.
Dude,
They
I literally went on. Sorry to cut you off, but I literally went
no,
on.
man, no, you're fine.
I literally was looking at the data from John Hopkins University for one of my videos
Yeah,
about the positivity rate, and they literally
yeah.
do not have the data from China. Like it's not even on the map.
It's not
It's
existent.
not.
It's
It's
gone.
literally non-existent. And my thing is that China has what, over 1 billion people, right?
Yeah,
Like, dude, who knows how COVID is going in that country right now, right? And
exactly.
the super liberals, aka the Marxist
The
communists,
communists.
always want to cite China as, oh man, they're making people, take their temperature before they go into this place and that place. It's just eating up the Chinese propaganda, especially at the beginning. And I'm like, you
Which is
guys are idiots.
disgusting.
Do you understand they can
Yeah.
force them to do that because they have an authoritarian government where they can literally force you into a building and keep you there, make sure you don't do anything, you don't go anywhere, test you, force test you. You know, they can do all these things that we can't do here in the United States because we
We
have
value individual
freedom.
freedom.
Exactly. We have
Yes.
individual freedom.
It's like, do you people want this stuff? It's like, what's wrong with you? Do you realize what you're saying?
Exactly. Exactly. They don't even realize it. Like I hate when they go on Twitter and they worship like these other countries. And I'm like, bruh, you've never stepped foot a day in China. If you actually lived in
Go there.
China, you would
Yeah, live
not be talking like this. There's no way.
there.
As soon as that government
So
what is it, the
ridiculous.
People's Republic of China?
People's Party, Chinese Communist
Yeah,
Party,
as soon as they
whatever.
pull up to you, knock on that door, drag your
They
ass out the
literally,
house.
they literally can drag you out of your own home,
Exactly.
like raid
Harvest
you in
them
there,
damn organs. Start harvest.
like gather up all the Uyghurs and just like mass like genocide. Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, that's what's going on over there. But if you're messing with it, if you think, oh, and I hate the people who like, oh, a command economy and authoritarian government knows how to deal with a pandemic better. I'm like, people, please. Oh yeah, so arrest anybody who walks outside and kill anybody who's infected. You want that? Or would you rather just build up herd immunity, just let people get sick for a couple weeks as a whole and just move on? Like, come on now. Like, please, really think about what you're saying. I mean, that to me is just completely ridiculous.
It is completely ridiculous. I mean, it's people so ignorant, man. Like I was on a cruise and I saw some immigrants or not immigrants, but some illegal immigrants on a raft, like literally on a little raft,
You
trying
saw
to
some you saw some refugees. They
yeah, some
weren't immigrants.
refugees. My bad.
They weren't immigrants yet because they didn't make
Yeah, they
it.
didn't make it yet. Thank you for
Yeah.
correcting me. This is why I have you on the live stream to help me out. But some refugees trying to
Um,
get to America on a little raft, leaving Cuba, which, according to the super liberals, has the best healthcare in the world. Um, but the healthcare ain't so good that you have people that literally are trying to cross the ocean on a raft to try to get to America. I mean, it's when you see
and
something
they're
like
trying
that.
And it's funny you bring that up because remember that Cuban businessman who spoke at the RNC who teared up because he said that all this looks very familiar and that like I think his father told him there's nowhere else to go
Yeah,
but America for true freedom and like endless opportunity.
and the thing is, they always want to talk about these refugees that come to the border of Mexico to try to get in, and they want to be so compassionate, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, why do you think they're coming here to America? If America is so bad, why do you think they're trying to come here to America? You remember America's this big racist
literally,
country with a
literally
fascist
risking
dictator.
their lives. Yeah, before that, you remember those giant caravans
Yeah,
that were all over the news like a year ago or something?
yeah, I do remember
Literally,
that.
thousands of people from Latin America in giant groups just marching across Central America to get to our border through coyotes, drug
Facts.
cartels, looters, like
Jungles, mountains.
yeah,
Mexico. I mean, dude, I
the
I
whole
looked at him.
terrain.
I looked at Mexico on the map, bro. when they, I looked one time. When I was thinking about them crossing like through Central America, I was like, let me look at Mexico, bro. Mexico is long.
Of
Mexico
course.
is long. We talk about they're going through jungles. They're going through mountains. They're going through like what, damn near the desert. You know what I'm saying?
Deserts,
Like
deserts too. Yeah.
they have to cross like
All this
multiple
rough terrain.
exactly to try to get to America. Crossing Mexico is a hell of a job. I give them credit for getting to the
I
border. I
would
really
think.
do. And through drug
Yeah.
cartels, like, come on, man.
That tells you something. But oh, America is this evil, racist country that's so bad and has to be torn down and built back up again.
Yeah,
Why? So you can build your socialist utopia
exactly, exactly, bro. What
on some Bernie Sanders
do you think that
talk. Yeah.
they love Bernie Sanders, man? They love this
Well,
man.
it's unsettling to me. I don't understand. Like, well, you say that universities have been the source of the problem, but like, how has America become so open to the
But you
idea
know
of
what it is,
social?
though, man. Honestly, you know what it
It's
is.
like,
It's like I always try to tell you, the Overton window, in terms of
mhm.
the political spectrum on the world stage. I mean, Europe's already socialist, communist.
Of course, yeah, Europe's on
So
board.
the
A lot of
thing
the
is
Anglo
that over
countries.
time, the Western world, because we're a part of the Western world, it's becoming more liberal. I mean, it's funny because for all the talk about the Red Scare and trying to fight communism, Europe failed at
and and
communism. Like,
and
let's be real, they
and
failed at
Joseph and,
socialism.
and Joseph Joseph McCarthy and McCarthyism. Yeah, of
Exactly.
course.
They failed to it. I mean, for all that fight that they try to try to get rid of communism and all that, it was BS.
And the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Exactly. It's almost like it didn't matter because Europe still went that way anyways. And I think what's happening is that we're being pushed in that direction. And we're
Well,
the
you see,
last conservative bastion,
and
in
guys, listen to me about this. That's a very important point. I want to say this so that you guys literally stop. Okay, this is a huge point, and I want you people to listen right now. Okay, like even say in the comments, Leo, we're listening. Like, what is it? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is basically they are trying to push this not even agenda ideology. They're just trying, or narrative. They're just trying to push this notion that America is embarrassing itself right now on the world stage. We have these riots. We did so bad with COVID. Look at our presidential debate, how they were bashing each other. Guys, I just want you all to know to not care about that. Literally, like, have zero weight in that. Like, just to completely be oblivious to that, like 100%, without hesitation. Why? Because it's all a giant lie to swindle people and to make people feel like America has a bunch of people who are unreasonable, who are kooks, who are just fighting each other over racism and all this stuff. And their presidential candidates can't even have a respectful conversation, but or a sophisticated debate and professional debate between themselves. Guys, first of all, the debate itself, and then I'll move on to the bigger picture. That is not the reason why I went down like that is because these are not normal times. It's because one party is trying to conserve and preserve America for what it has always been, and the other side is trying to take power. That literally was indicative or symbolic or symptomatic of a country that is in the middle of an attempted coup, revolution, civil war, you name it. And it's not that all these other countries have more sophisticated and educated people or they get along better or whatnot. It's the fact that America is the last country that's able to resist. They are resisting this. Can I use the word globalist already?
Sure, man. Use whatever you
This,
want.
yeah. They are resisting the globalist plot to literally have the entire world on board on the same page. Europe fell to it. It started obviously in the Soviet Union and after the overthrowing of the coup d'état of the Romanov family of the Tsar, and then the temporary government came, and then the Bolsheviks overthrew them, and then they brought about the Soviet Union and communist Russia. Where the rest of Europe fell to it, where the Berlin Wall was literally just a facade. Uh, China, Asia for the most part is falling into this. Obviously China is a giant communist regime, authoritarian and whatnot. Even Australia, New Zealand, they have very authoritarian and almost fascistic like laws. Um, where, for example, the most obvious thing is no firearms and whatnot. In Latin America, you have Venezuela, and Mexico is run by the cartels. Like that's all. They all have their own problems. Same thing with Africa and the Middle East. But America is the last bastion for true individual freedom. Like I'm saying, not even in Europe or in most of Asia, even in developed Asia. So we are resisting this. And what was the major symbol, the quintessential sign that America is not on board with this? The election of Donald Trump right after the Obama administration. That was our like the big signal, or kind of like the big statement that we made to the world that, hey, this whole movement, shifting of the Overton window towards liberalism, socialism, communism, we're not on board with it. And Trump spoke out to the people who felt angry about that, and that's why he won back in 2016. And now they're really getting nervous and angry and hesitant and not hesitant and hasty is the word I was trying to, I meant to use, because they literally think that Trump can completely reverse all the progress they've made, which he's doing. And if he gets another 4 years, he'll probably finish the job. So they are going in balls to the wall, over the top, head over heels to get rid of him and to get the people on board with this and punishing, reprimanding, scolding anybody who speaks against it. How? You speak against Black Lives Matter and Antifa, wrecking these cities, you're a racist. If you say you support Trump, you get fired from your job. If you have conservative values, you're a bigot. If you're a black person who's a Republican, you're an Uncle Tom. If you do this, that, and the other, oh, you're a homophobe. You're a Christian. Oh, you're a Christian bigot. Like, you're a religious fanatic. All these things that they're doing, they're attacking us on all fronts with all the different players, media, sports, Hollywood, the government, obviously, education, and even corporations that are on board with this whole Black Lives Matter narrative. And we've even seen on LinkedIn all the big corporations with like the rainbow flag logos for like Pride Day or Pride Month or whatever. We know what's going on, and we see it. So guys, look, America is not making a fool of itself. America is making a statement that it is resisting this. That's why we're in the middle of this right now, because they are trying to take power. We are in the middle of. It might become physical. We'll see in the next 4 weeks when this thing with Judgment Day on November 3rd. But right now, we are in the middle of a cultural, social, and a psychological revolution that's going on right now as we speak. And the reason why it's so aggressive and it's so violent and it's so there's so much animosity is because they are going all in on trying to get us to submit. And Trump is the personification. He is the manifestation of our resistance to that. So when next time you hear one of your friends who's from Europe who's like, oh, over there is so great, and America, what's wrong with you? Don't pay attention to them. I'm sure they're great, nice people, but look, Europe's basically all socialists going into communism like as a continent by now. Don't pay attention to that. America is the last bastion, and the reason why we're in the middle of this dumpster fire, of this shitstorm, of this chaos, so to speak, is because we are the last group of people to resist on a mass scale. So don't concede. Don't give any ground. Fight, resist with all you've got, because we've got to do this. I don't care if we look bad. I don't care if we look like a bunch of children screaming at each other. We're doing this because we're not on board with this, and we're going to resist till the very end. We'll fight to the very end to get rid of these intruders that have hijacked our government and are trying to impose this garbage and these obscenities and that are trying to impose this power over us to take away our individual freedom and our individual liberty, literally. So to close. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't care how bad we look to the rest of the world. We're making a statement that this whole thing for communism and liberalism and Marxism, we don't mess with it. We don't F with it. So stop trying, because it's not going to work.
They're talking about how much deeper it is than what you're trying to get into, and I'm trying to tell them, like, dude, I ain't trying to get kicked off YouTube.
No, guys, I'm sorry. Even though Greg and I may agree with that and may obviously know that, like, we can't go that deep right now, guys. Like, we apologize. We would love to, but we don't want to go that far. But again, no, that was just basically like a big statement. It's not even. Yeah, I'm sure we can go deeper, but that's why I'm keeping it at that level, because you don't even have to go too deep to realize that we're just resisting. That's all.
Yeah.
We're not making fools of ourselves. We're not children. We're not uneducated. Like, we don't have bad manners. Like, we know how to treat each other. It's just they're trying to impose on us with all they got, and we're just trying to say, no, back the hell off. It's that simple.
So they want us to talk about Biden being racist.
Oh, man.
Dude, Biden's a white supremacist.
I almost, I almost am sick and tired of hearing that, of hearing white supremacist or the word racist. I'm just so tone deaf to it. But yeah, I mean, do you want to say anything real quick? Because I can just give out like a laundry
I
list.
feel like
That's a
I feel like I've talked about this so much in my videos about how racist Biden actually
actually
is.
is.
Like I said, let's put it like this: if I had a gun in my head and I had to guess who was more racist, and if I got it wrong, I would have my brains blown out. I'm going with Biden.
Of
Biden's
course,
more racist than Trump. Like,
hands down, without question.
I cannot imagine Biden hanging out with any brothers back in the 70s, bruh. He was talking about his kids. He didn't want integration or fighting against integration because he said
You
his
don't
kids
want
were going to go to schools that were going to be racial jungles.
jungle. Yes. And then the crime bill, mass incarceration of African Americans, and then basically saying that he was going to have a leg up in his state because his state used to be a slave state.
Yeah, yeah. He.
Or how, poor kids just as talented as white
I
kids, which
might do a
is like
video
a
on that. I
40
might
year.
just do a video
You should. Yeah.
on all the
Yeah,
racist things Biden has
that's a
said.
layup,
Every
of
yeah,
course.
it is a layup. How many all the racist things Biden has done in the past? I might do a video on that.
Yo, and I didn't say anything, but I literally was like ready to just smack this dude across the face for when he went up to a podium. I think it was like in Miami or something, trying to campaign in Florida. Like Luis Fonsi, the guy who did Despacito, like introduced him. And Biden literally went up to the podium, took off his mask, and pulled out his phone and just said, "Hold on a second. Wait, hold on." And he just plays Despacito on his phone, and he smiles, and he thinks that that's enough to get like the Hispanic vote. Like, what do you
You
think? We're a
tell me,
bunch of
Hispanic
idiots.
man, was that enough to get your vote?
it did. It did the exact opposite. It actually pissed me off
Really?
because that's what he thinks about us. We're just people who, like Mexicans.
You colored.
Uh,
You colored.
yeah,
That's what you
yeah,
are.
we like that type of music, sexualized, and reggaeton, and we just mowing lawns and working out in the construction and eating tacos and all this shit, and that's the type of music we listen to, and he thinks that all him doing that makes us laugh and makes us think that he's one of us, and I just hated it. I literally was like, I want to punch this dude in the face. Like, this dude is like, Trump is just like, he just speaks his mind, and Trump is upfront. Biden is like a sneaky kind of under the table type of asshole. Like you know what I mean?
That's. I'm glad you brought that up because
Excuse my language. Yeah.
that's the thing, man. It's like, listen, if you're gonna be racist, I like my racism overt. Give it to me overtly.
I like my race.
I
It
do.
sounds yeah.
Because the reason why I like it overt is because I know how to deal with overt racist, right? Like, but there's not a lot of overt racists, right? That's running around. However, particularly
No,
Democrats,
especially not now. Yeah.
are covert about their racism. And it is very hard to deal with somebody that is covert about their racism. And that's
Mm.
essentially the Democrat Party in a nutshell. I mean, Hillary telling you back in 2016, going on the Breakfast Club, talking about, having hot sauce in my bag. And everything they say is scripted. Everything is scripted. So they knew, the Breakfast Club knew she was gonna pull out that line. Everybody in the interview knew she was gonna pull out that line. That's why she was asked the question about I forgot exactly what the question was, but that's why she did it. And the thing is that the Democrats do this every single election where they pander to the lowest rungs of particularly my people. At least, with Hispanics, you know, they try to, they try to reach out to the legitimate ones from y'all. I don't know no legitimate Spanish leader. Julian Castro or Marco Rubio. They try. Y'all got some. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too many Hispanics, so I don't. I don't keep up with that like that.
The African blacks have Ben Carson and
Yeah. But what I'm saying is they don't praise the Ben Carsons and the Herman
no,
Cains and the Thomas
yeah,
Sowells and the Walter Williams and the Daniel Camerons of the world, right? The successful black men.
they
They
praise the
always want to
Cardi
bring
B's,
in,
The Meg the Stallions,
yeah, they wanted
the
the Cardi B's, the LeBron James, you know, the um, the Jeezys, the Ludacris's, the T.I.'s, the Killer Mikes, the people that really have no business talking about any of these issues. They don't know anything about black people. They moved out of the hood, right? Like they got rich
exactly.
and they moved out of the hood. None of those people want to live in the hood, but
Mm-mm.
yet they're spending all their time telling America how bad white people are, but they don't even want to live with black people.
Exactly.
You don't even want to live with your own people.
Pay attention to their actions, not their
Exactly.
words,
And
please.
that's why when white people look at them and be like, what the hell y'all talking about?
What are you like? They can't take the complaints seriously.
They can't
Yeah.
take that complaint seriously because your actions.
Literally some of the most privileged people in the world where you get paid to literally sing a song or play a game or whatnot, What do we got? What do we got?
Nothing. Somebody said they wish they could be on the podcast.
On ours?
I guess so.
Like, is he talking about like the people we're talking about or just someone personally?
I don't know. Well, maybe somebody else. I don't know if it's. I don't know if you're talking about. Does Leo got a YouTube channel?
No, guys, I'm partner. I'm all with Greg on this.
But yeah, man. Nah, Leo, you'll be, dude, bruh. Come on, start a YouTube channel, bruh.
Dude, we I will be a minority partner in your venture with this. The bigger we get. I'll leave it at that.
Bruh, you only been up here twice. I'm just messing with you.
That's why I said minority. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just a damn shame
Yeah.
how
It's just
they always drag out the lowest, and I'm not, listen, man, like I'm not saying athletes can't speak out or entertainers can't speak out, right? But if you're trying to
give out your opinion and then just leave it at that. Don't
that,
try
yeah,
to give
but
any.
if you're trying to convince people to understand your plight, you can't be contradictory and hypocritical about it. You can't sit here as a rapper and talk about how scared you are of white people and losing your lives as police officers, but yet you rap about killing black people. You rap about dealing drugs and exploiting women and all this other stuff. Same
and
thing
you're
with Meg Thee
probably
Stallion.
surrounded and you're probably surrounded by security and law enforcement anytime you're out in the yeah,
Exactly.
like
Exactly. You don't live in the hood. You don't live in the hood. You rap about killing, stealing, drug dealing, taking from the hood. There's a big movement among particularly black women where it's like, oh, respect black women, protect black women. Y'all don't like the Second Amendment. So I don't understand where that comes from, right? Like,
of
first thing you need to do if you want to be protected is protect yourself.
course.
You know, you don't like the patriarchy, so you don't want men protecting you, apparently. I don't know. It's just, and also you talking about you want to be respected, but yet you're walking around twerking, shaking your ass in front of the whole world, sexualizing yourself, talking about your WAP, but yet you're talking about you want respect. And the thing, and that's why I say you shouldn't speak out because what you look dumb because
Of
you're a
course.
walking contradiction. Nobody's gonna take you serious. That's why you need people that actually are successful, that have accomplished things in this life, that
Mm.
understand the system, that understand the things that actually need to be done to speak up and to put themselves out there because we can't rely on people that are uneducated and that are just driven by emotion and liberal propaganda because that's really all it is. It's really just a liberal, particularly the white liberal, standing in the background, putting a battery in the back of these entertainers and saying,
Because they're all the ones who own these, who are in charge of these sports teams, own these sports teams, and most importantly, who are running Hollywood and who are in charge of all these music labels. Yeah,
Yeah,
the white liberal elites, literally.
exactly, exactly. And it's a lot of black liberals too, that push this victimhood mentality as well.
Exactly.
But
But
they're pushing this. They're
it's basically the liberal narrative that's running rampant through Hollywood and through the music industry, of
exactly,
course.
and the reason why is because it's it's a message and a narrative of you need to depend on the Democrat Party, particularly the white liberal. You have to depend on them no matter what, and you can't do anything for yourself. When in reality, you know, for example, the NFL, I think the total salaries that's paid out to the NFL players up, I think is up. What was it, $4.6 billion?
Hmm.
Tell me why you guys have $4.6 billion paid to you every single year. Yeah, a lot of it's taxed. Why haven't you started your own bank? You're sitting here begging the owners to use their resources to fight so-called systemic racism, but you guys haven't started your own bank, right? Like, if you want to talk about solving
Your own
these,
financial
yeah,
institutions,
your own financial institution, call it the Players Bank.
venture capital
Yeah,
firm,
venture capital
whatever.
firm, private equity firm, like something that's gonna actually do some good, right? Because at the
Or
end of the
gonna affect the communities in the most pivotal way, which is the economic aspect.
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
something that's gonna affect us in the economic aspect.
Because, like you said, white liberals, they'll go out there, they'll plant Black Lives Matter on the street with you, they'll riot. Like the real young ones who ain't got shit to do, they'll go out and riot with you. They'll put your shit on the internet. They'll put a black square on Instagram and Blackout Tuesday, but they're not gonna give you no money.
They ain't gonna give you no money. They ain't give you no
They
money.
gon'
They gonna
they
suck
gonna
your
do
money up.
all these BS gestures,
Yes,
and
exactly.
we stand against racism and we
Yep,
support Black Lives Matter and all
yep.
this bullshit.
And anybody that comes out and tells, "Hey guys, you don't need to depend on a white liberal. You should probably just use your
Look out
money,
for yourself.
yeah, and
Yeah.
just start your own stuff." Like people always complain about the banks lend to Hispanic and black and brown people at like at higher rates than white people. Start your own bank. You know what I'm saying?
I
LeBron, the NBA and NFL players have enough capital and resources
love your
collectively
liberal
to
voice.
start their own bank. And then
Yeah.
instead of putting Breonna Taylor on your jersey or some stupid social justice message, put
Or how many more? Or
yeah, stupid stuff like that. Put Players Bank. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bruh, you have all the influence in the world. You have all the money in the world, but the white liberal has convinced you that you can't solve your own problem when the answer is simple.
I
It's
love
so simple.
I love how you make the liberals. Well, I would just be like, the banks lend out to to white people a lot more than Hispanic and black people. Yeah, start your own. Yeah, well then
But they
don't
don't
use
want to
those.
do it though. They don't want to do anything that requires them to actually take responsibility and to
Take
solve their own
action
issues.
to
Just
actually
like
solve.
they don't want to live in the hoods that they claim they care about so much.
Exactly.
So I mean, at the
Yeah.
end of the day,
That's all the sides. It's all just a big, it's a front.
exactly, and that's why I don't blame a lot of these people that don't take anything they have to say seriously. And that's why anybody that comes to me, trying to criticize me for, oh, you don't think they should speak out and blah blah blah. Nope, sure don't. Nope, unqualified. Nope, they're dumb. They're stupid. They don't know what they're talking about.
They're feeding you this poison where you're a victim and you can't do anything without anyone else's help.
Exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So man, I mean, it's whatever, man. I really don't give a damn, honestly. Like,
To put it lightly,
yeah, I
right?
really
Yeah.
don't. I just it is what it is.
You wanna? I don't know if you have any. I don't think you have any super chats, but if you don't
Yeah,
have
I don't
any
have
other
any.
direct questions,
Yeah, I don't
if
have
you don't
any.
have any direct questions, you wanna wrap this up real quick on our opinions on the VP debate.
Yeah, we'll get into that and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Uh,
So just real quick,
yeah. So
it's in a couple days, and we're gonna live stream. It's gonna be you, me. It's gonna be you, Mario, and I, right? Us
yeah, if
three.
Mario still want to get up here because he been seeing two kind of terrible live streams, at least at the beginning. They always pick up at the end. I'm just gonna hop on this computer first. This is just gonna be my default like live stream computer, so I don't have to worry about it. Because it seems like my connection's been excellent on this computer the whole time. So it looks like this is just the way I'm gonna go. But anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna live stream after the debate on Wednesday. It's gonna be me, you, and Mario.
Literally get ready, because as soon as the debate's over, like, we're hopping on.
Yeah, exactly. And my preview of the debate is that, like I said before in the past, Kamala Harris is gonna take debate. She's gonna attack Trump, and she's gonna do nothing but attack Trump. And Mike Pence should force her to either align with the far left or not align with the far left. Try to make it so the far left decides, you know what, we can't vote for any of these two candidates because they're not going to vote for Trump. So at this point, you're trying to make it so they don't vote for Biden, or at least they're not motivated to vote for Biden, and they're already prone to not voting for Biden. Or voting for the candidates that they like, because you saw what happened to Bernie.
Because of Trump's performance.
Exactly.
In the debate, and how he got Biden to say that he's not for the Green New Deal and this and that and the other, and then also for what they did to Bernie as well. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So because we know this already in terms of the far left's voting habits, they need to make sure they can make Kamala. Pence needs to make sure he can make Kamala clearly define where she's at in terms of policy. And then also attack her on her.
So literally, don't give a damn about her attacks or what she says.
Just ignore it. Just act like it is. Like, don't even respond to it. Don't respond to any attacks against Trump. Because here's the thing: there's nothing to gain from attacking Trump anymore. There's nothing to gain from it.
And attacking Trump right now is going to be a sensitive tactic, because Trump's recovering from COVID, so he still has that sympathy.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
So the thing is, attacking Trump is a losing game. Right? Just like, Pence attacking Biden is a losing game, right? What Pence need to do, don't try to worry about attacking them. Make them clearly define what their plan is and what they actually want to do, right? And then also hit Kamala hard on her record as a prosecutor, and, all her dealings. For example, blocking the evidence for somebody, a guy that was on death row, and this evidence could potentially exonerate him. It remains to be seen whether it will, but she did that. Locking up thousands of nonviolent drug offenders. All the things that the liberals love to complain about. Hit her on that. Hit her on Joe Biden's crime bill. Hit her on all these different things that the liberals are very passionate about. Make her define whether or not she wants to bankrupt the country with the Green New Deal. Make her define whether or not she wants Medicare for all. Make her define whether or not she wants free college for everybody.
Free college. I knew that was what
exactly. Make her define her position on these policies. That's what you need to do.
Make her tell us what they're going to do.
Exactly. Especially when it comes to COVID. Also, they really need to do is talk about why is it that the Democrats, because Joe Biden said this in the last debate. He said, I am the Democrat Party. That's what he said. I'm the Democrat Party. Okay, Joe, you guys are the Democrat Party, and Kamala Harris, you are the vice president of the Democrat Party, essentially. Why is it that the Democrat Party has held up this stimulus? Why is it that the American people are suffering and struggling to feed their families because you forced them into lockdowns, and now you don't want to pass a stimulus to help out the American people? Why don't you want to do that? Why are you holding it up? Because literally, the Republicans have put out multiple plans. The House Democrats
to at least get the stimulus payments out. Exactly. Worry about all that other stuff later.
Exactly. Why have you not tried to work with us to help the American people? What is your end goal with that? Make her define why they're not doing that. Because we really know why it is. Because they don't want the economy to get better, because they want to blame it on Trump. And if you can peg her into that conversation, she's gonna lose. And she's gonna look really, really bad. That's the type of stuff that they need to do.
It
Don't go
really
back and
should.
forth.
It really shouldn't be that tough because she was terrible in the primaries. I mean, really just be pinpoint with your questions and in your objectives that you know are gonna like crush her and leave her hanging by a thread and just go all in on that. Don't react to her emotions. Don't
No,
react to her. Don't react to her venom. Don't react to her trying to say, "Oh, you're so racist. Oh, you did terrible with COVID. All the people who died." That doesn't matter. That holds no weight. Is meaningless.
yeah,
Get her to spit out some actual facts on what they're gonna do and why they're doing this, that, and the other.
exactly.
Of
Make her
course.
define. Do you plan on shutting down the economy? Do you want to pack
Again,
the Supreme Court?
you want to pack the court? Yeah, which
Exactly.
Biden clearly did not answer. He said, "You American people, you need to go out and vote." Like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like what the hell is this? You need to go out and vote. Are you going to pack the court? You have to decide. Are you going to pack the court? Go out and vote because it's up to you. Are you going to pack the court? Will you shut
Yeah,
up?
yeah, exactly. You
He
need.
didn't answer the question.
He didn't answer the question. There's a reason why. There's a reason why they
Instead, he
are
broke the
avoiding.
fourth wall. Yeah.
They're avoiding talking about what they want to do because they don't have a plan.
Because they know that if you actually know what they're going to do, you're going to be like, what the hell? I'm never voting for that in a million years.
Exactly. And that's what Pence should do. And I have full confidence that that's what he's going to do because that was the plan with Chris Christie in terms of how he prepared Trump for the debate. Because that's exactly what Trump tried to do in terms of, trying to separate.
Getting Biden to separate himself.
Exactly. Now, he didn't, he did it, but he didn't do it as eloquently as I would like him to have done it. But I think that Pence, I think that he will do that, and I have faith.
Pence has a better capability of
Yes.
being less raucous.
Yeah, don't go out to Biden about if you can go out to Biden, go out to him on something legit, right? Like don't go out to him about his mental health and all that. Everybody knows he's slow, right? Everybody knows that. Go after him on the crime bill. Go after him on all the things that the far left is going to get mad about because those are the people that are most likely not to show up and vote. And if they don't vote, that's like them voting for Trump. And a lot of people are in that basket where they feel like both candidates are so terrible, they're just not going to vote. But that's my personal opinion on it. I mean, who knows? I mean, I just feel like Kamala is going to just take the bait and she's going to attack Trump. And there's nothing to gain from attacking Trump anymore. Everything that can be said about Trump has been said. You will not gain anything else from attacking Trump. Now it's time to talk about some policy.
Finally, a month before the election.
Exactly.
That's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Pence just has to be on point with that, and I think he'll have a strong performance. And then obviously Trump and Biden have 2 more rounds, and I think hopefully maybe this COVID thing mellowed Trump out a little bit, and this alone is going to give him a lot, like a huge boost in momentum in these next 2 debates, where he has already announced that he's going to be president on the second debate on October 15th. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think if they play their cards right, I think they'll get done with. I think they'll attain their objectives and get done what they need to get done in order to be in the best position possible leading up to Election Day. That and on the side of all that, the one X factor is the Senate confirming Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court, because we got to remember that's going to be going on in the background.
Yeah,
which is a huge.
They're trying to use COVID as an excuse to hold that up.
Yeah, but they're still going to have it anyways remotely. But once they're ready to vote, then they come back in person. I mean, like we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
I've never seen somebody take more vacations than a politician, man. Especially during a time of crisis. During a time of so-called crisis, y'all taking more vacations than.
You need to be in there every day trying to make sure that the country doesn't literally fall down in shambles, doesn't literally like fall apart.
Yeah.
But apparently, that even in times like these, that's still not the case. But
yeah, I think that's a good one too. Make Harris denounce Antifa. Make them talk about law and order. I mean, essentially,
are you for law and order? Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, they need to have them talk about anything
But remember, they won't let them because they're too focused on white
Yeah,
supremacy. I mean,
deflect. I mean, if they ask Mike Pence, do you denounce white supremacy? Yes. Okay. Kamala, do you denounce Antifa? That's what he needs to do. Give an unequivocal yes, I denounce white supremacy. Now, Kamala, do you denounce Antifa? Well, Antifa's just an idea. Do you denounce the idea of Antifa?
like literally, don't make it a statement by saying yes, I denounce it now. But the problem is really with the left. So don't make it a question. A little bit like yes, I denounce white supremacy. Now, Kamala, do you denounce Antifa and Black Lives Matter? Do you denounce the radical left that have been destroying our cities? Do you denounce them? Are you for law and order?
Exactly. Exactly. That's what you like. Make them define these things, man, because nobody knows. Nobody knows. Take the attention off of Trump. That should be what the goal is. Take the attention off Trump. Put the attention on them. Make them define who they are. Show us who you are. Show us what we're voting for. And that should be the strategy.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man, it's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, it is. So
What is
guys,
it? What is the response? Everything.
you can check it out in the chat. But so guys,
Yeah,
I
of
confirmed
course.
tonight
As
that
always.
I will be going on Brandon Tatum's show on Thursday. Fingers crossed that still happens, and fingers crossed that my my internet and stream works, so I don't mess up their show. So I will be doing that, and I also will be having a live stream with Leo and Mario Frato after the debate. And so I got a lot of content coming for you guys this week. So we'll see how it goes. But I am excited for Brandon Tatum's live stream. I think hanging out with him and ABL. Hopefully ABL is there. I think will be pretty cool.
Yeah. Hold on. Someone asked if we're aware of the Russia fallout. Yeah, of course. I just want to answer this because I
Go
made a big
ahead,
thing
talk
about
to him.
this. I made a big thing about this in our group chat. So they literally investigated Trump for 3+ years, with the director of the FBI taking charge in that case, along with Mueller and the Steele dossier, and it completely blew up in their faces. In the end, they found out that there was no collusion between Trump and the Russians. That in fact, what it was just a hoax drummed up and fabricated by the Clinton campaign to distract people from her emails, and that in the end, they found out that one of the individuals that was colluding with Hillary in forming up and formulating that fake story or that fake narrative to distract people from her email scandal was a Russian spy.
I love when you tell that story.
Literally. And they literally had the ex-director of the FBI, James Comey, testify in front of Congress, in front of the Senate, the day after the debate on Wednesday last week. And he literally, it was like Wolf of Wall Street. I do not recall. I do not recall. I do not recall. And they literally grilled this man. Like, the legacy you have left is a legacy of corruption and scandals and fraud in our very own Federal Bureau of Investigation. They grilled this dude, and they literally said that they are ashamed of him for being in on trying to take down Trump, the director of our very own FBI. Yes, I loved every bit of that. But the media is not going to talk a lot about that because it helps Trump. So the only reason I know about that is because of Fox News and Washington Times, I think, put out something about that too, I think. But yeah, yeah. But that was awesome. I loved every bit of that. So that was huge win for Trump. Like I said, Trump's like the new Teflon Don, or like the real Teflon Don. They try to get him for everything, and at the end of the day, they get him for nothing. So, you know.
Hey, your head is out of your ass, bro. They trolling you, dog.
Say what? Say what?
Read
Say
the
what?
chat, bro. They trolling you, bro. They stay trolling you.
She's like, oh no, he's like a Russian spy. Obamagate Israel. We're aware of it. Do you think you're stupid? Yep, he's never correct. Russia's a cop. DC. Hold on. The flag lady at Bernie's rally today. The flag lady.
Nah, he said, Leo, your head is out of your ass or something like that.
I don't see that comment, but
Of course, you don't see the comment that involves you. Hey, your head.
no, I'm serious. I can't see where.
Hey, your head out your ass, Leo. Rabbit, rabbit.
Rabbit. That guy's funny.
Bro, I love how they troll you, dog. Cause I troll you the same way in private. So now the audience is trolling you. I trolling you. We just
What are they trolling me about? What's
they
up?
just trolling you, bro. They just I think they like you.
Thanks, guys. I
Uh,
appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, I loved every bit of it. Yeah. That's what they're saying. That's what the narrative is, was that it literally blew up in their faces and that it was actually Hillary who had Russian collusion, not Trump, which to me was hilarious. And then James Comey testified, basically had amnesia the whole time, and they just grilled his ass for it. So it was good. It was good. I loved it. Good point. Trump just keeps winning. He just keeps crushing. He just keeps Trump just keeps kicking their ass. And the only thing they have going for them is that they have the media on their side that lies for them about everything. Sorry, it's kind of how it is.
yeah, yeah, man. Trump's winning. We doing so much winning. I'm not tired of winning.
Yeah, for sure. You're almost there, Leo. Leo's good. No complaints here.
I almost just don't want to. I almost just don't want to
What's up?
log off because I just like looking at the comments, just responding to people because it's just so funny.
It is. It's hilarious.
But that's the crazy thing about these live streams, man. Like people just have conversations and just chill. Like kind of the same thing that we doing. We just
I
chilling,
love
having a
you.
Conversation.
Guys. I just commented. I love you guys.
Nobody loves you, Leo.
Oh my gosh. This is awesome. No, this is great. Yeah, guys, for sure. Of course. They asked me the question. Yeah, I was on top of that the whole time. Please.
Yeah,
I'm
Leo's an expert on Russia and China.
no. Well, yeah, well, foreign news. Well, I'm just big on the conservative narrative. I'm a very, hard right, not super radical, but
Nah, you a radical, bro. You hard right.
I'm pretty hard
You a
right. Yeah.
proud boy, honestly.
I'm not a proud boy. I don't even know. I mean, I'm
Did you
just,
look them up?
I just looked them up for a second, guys. Isn't it funny how they like frame Antifa and BLM as like these like ideological organizations that are pushing for change and against all these terrible things that they're trying to improve, and then you go to Proud Boys, and Proud Boys is some like hard like radical right extremist group. Like it's just garbage. When Antifa and BLM have been the ones that have been literally attacking our citizens, shooting our cops, looting our stores, and burning down our businesses and our buildings, sometimes even federal court buildings. I mean, this is just, you know, this is just to me. I mean, America is just so backwards right now. It's unreal. But I'm glad that there are people out there who see eye to eye with us because I mean, honestly, our voice is becoming smaller and smaller, and it's becoming more and more quiet, and it's being silenced completely, slowly but surely, with each passing day. But it's things like these where we can kind of, really show the people that, we're not going anywhere. We're
There,
all here where we've always been. But even if you, just because you're not covering us or you're not giving us a voice, doesn't mean we don't have a voice.
the leader of the Proud Boys is like a Cuban, like Puerto Rican, half black dude.
Yeah,
He
something like
just
that.
like you, bruh.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Bruh.
Who knows? Maybe. I don't really like the name too much.
You saw the
It's for
the Proud Boys, the LGBTQ community. They've tried to take back that name.
really.
Yeah, and the Proud Boys came out and was like, we don't give a shit. Like they can do whatever. Like we don't care. That's what the
Yeah,
left tries to do, man. Like
for
and they
sure.
literally posted videos and pictures all over on Twitter of them like proud like pride like gay
Yeah.
men like kissing
Yeah,
and in
Proud Boys, like
underwear.
we like we are Proud Boys doing that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that it was just ironic to me because they literally did not care. Like the right did not even push back. They're just like, okay, like whatever. Like it is what it is. So I mean,
Yeah.
the left, man, they just petty, dog. Like they just so petty.
They're just pathetic. They're a joke. I mean,
It is a
I
joke,
can't take
man.
this. You literally could be like like you do not need to be that intelligent to defeat like a PhD level liberal in debate right now because what they're doing is just so blatantly obvious and it's just garbage. But I mean, that's just my take on it. I mean, it's so like beating a liberal in debate right now. As long as you fair as long as you're fairly like well read on your stuff, is literally on easy mode right now. You know. Oh, the NFAC, yeah. Didn't the NFAC people like shoot themselves twice already?
I saw something about that. I saw ABL did a video about it. I didn't watch all of it,
Saw who?
but dude, honestly,
ABL. Oh, ABL.
yeah,
Yeah,
those groups will take care of themselves. Like a group
yeah.
like Not Fucking Around Coalition, like
Yes, just let me on.
I saw your boy Country.
Yeah, heavy duty country.
Heavy Duty
Yeah, yeah,
Country
well,
did a
yeah.
video. His video that he did on them, I was like, wow, wow. I have not we have nothing to worry about if this is what Not Fucking Around Coalition is actually is.
Yeah,
Oh my god. They will take themselves out. I agree with that.
yeah. It's just let this take its course. It'll balance itself out eventually. I have no doubts. I have high hopes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
man.
think we've been. I
I
think
was
we've been
about to
good. We're
say.
gonna hop up back up here in a couple days after the
Yeah,
debate.
we'll take a breather tomorrow, and then we'll have a good live session on Wednesday night after the VP debate. Looking forward to it.
Yep. And then again, guys, Brandon Tatum's live stream 8
After.
o'clock on Thursday, and then yeah, we'll go from there. And try to get some videos out tomorrow. It's late, but all right, Leo. It's been real,
All right,
man.
guys. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care. Talk to y'all soon.
Peace.
Be safe out there. All right. Take it easy, Greg. Later, man.
Bye.
All right. Bye.